Did you leave any of the sheep white? Look at this.
Good morning, sheep fans. What a special vlog we have for you today. We're here at the Irvine depot of the British Wool Marketing Board, where they take in all the wool for probably the west of Scotland and where else?
Western Central Scotland, down to the south, some of the islands as well.
A massive area, and you're going to see the amount of wool that's here. It is incredible. I've dropped wool here before, but never actually went in and had a look about, and the place is incredible. You're going to see that in this vlog. I hope you like it. It's fantastic to see the other side of wool other than just the shearing side, and what a fantastic product it is, and how much work goes into grading it and marketing it and selling it for us, the farmers and the wool producers. I'm here today with Billy, who is the wool sales technical and quality assurance manager at the Irvine depot. Are you always based here? Is that correct?
I'm based all over Britain.
I see you're that for the whole of Britain?
Yeah.
Then we're very honoured here today. We're getting a real treat, and I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic blog. We'll just speak to Billy and just get him to tell us about how long have you worked for the Wool Board?
Over 30 years.
Is it over 30 years? Is that right?
Yep.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 52 this year.
52, so you come in here about 20?
As a boy, aye.
That's wild. And where did you start?
Paisley. We were initially in Paisley, moved to Hillington in Glasgow. Now we're down in Irvine.
And what was your position when you first come in?
I've done everything.
Is that right?
I've done everything in here.
The perfect man to be at the top though, of your department, certainly.
I would like to think so.
It is though, that's a great way, because you've done all the jobs these guys are doing.
Working my way up.
Yeah, so when you're giving somebody a tune out, at least they can't come back at you because you've done it, you've done your time.
That's it.
Fantastic, so I'm sure we're going to get a great tour about here and see all the different aspects. I brought my wool in, some of there's a bit of variety, we'll say that. It's probably a fair representation of the kind of wool that you guys bring in, although most of you are a lot more professional than me. And it'll be good to see how the guys grade it and how it's all done, and we'll get a look around the depot and see how much wool's sitting and what they do with it. It's going to be good. Before we get started, I was just going to ask Billy some questions. I thought one of the things that would be good to ask is, like, as us the farmers, what kind of things do we do that we could improve on, and is there anything that we do that...
Pretty much unrolled wool, it causes a problem for the grader.
Unrolled fleeces?
Yeah, especially the finer types of wool. When a full sheet drops on the grader's table, he's got to pull a full fleece, and if that's unrolled, at times he's coming away with a wee handful here and a wee handful there.
So roll your fleeces, guys, is a big thing. I've got a few fleeces in here that aren't rolled, but that was just that was so we could see how annoying it is for the classer. Obviously I usually roll them. How much wool is sitting here just now in the depot?
We've got roughly 1 million kilos sitting here unsold.
1 million kilos?
1 million kilos. There's roughly, again, 100,000 kilos sitting sold. It's been sold at auction, and it's just awaiting uplift and out the door.
And I take it just big Arctic lorry comes?
Big Arctic comes, it'll lift usually 3 full lots of 24 bales, that's off.
And where do these bales go?
A lot of them will end up down in Bradford at the scouring plants.
Right, and what is this? What scouring, is that when you're washing the fleeces? And
that's it, it's getting washed, it's getting ripped up. So the two biggest buyers, Curtis Wools and Standard Wools, they own the last 2 scouring plants in Western Europe, and they're based down in Bradford.
So the last 2 scouring plants in Western Europe are in the UK here, down in Bradford?
Scale. Yeah.
And you say they're the main 2 buyers?
Yeah.
They obviously buy it, treat the wool, clean it. What else do they do with it down there?
They'll make their own blends, they'll make different blends, and then they'll sell it on for a product to a customer.
Right, so they're like a middleman, almost. They buy it at wholesale.
They'll buy it from us, do what they do,
improve it.
Yeah. And then they'll sell it on to their customers.
Right, okay. And where would their customers be for British wool?
All over the world.
Yeah, it will be.
All over the world.
Yeah. That's just this depot has 800,000 fleeces to be handled and graded. It's incredible. Like, it is incredible. That's how long are you actually grading wool here? So the wool, and we just think we shear the sheep May, June, July. Some of yous hang it out to August. We do the shearing then, we get the wool away, think that's it, job done. But how long are you guys actually grading the wool for after you get all this?
Oh, they'll be grading right through into March.
Till March next year?
Yeah.
And say a producer had never brought wool in before and they were on an island or somewhere, they're just not sure how to get it here. Is there a system in place where they contact you guys?
Contact us, we'll arrange for a haulier.
Yep.
All the details to be passed, uplift will be arranged.
And it can reduce the costs because you know the guys that are bringing the wool,
Yep.
and they can pick it up on their route,
Yep.
or you know,
They'll have set routes
Yep.
already
Yep.
in place, and they'll just add to it. If somebody phones in, that's just another customer.
Because that's a big thing I'd like to hammer in this video, is that, like, you know, it's the British Wool Marketing Board. We're producing this wool in the UK, in Britain. The wool should come to them. In my opinion, obviously I'm a big supporter of the Wool Board, mainly through the things they do for shearing and supporting courses and other things that they put on. But the wool should really come here if you're wanting to support this Wool Board and keep it strong, in a strong position for selling the wool. Don't think to yourselves, I can't get the wool there, it's so far away, because I'm just fortunate, I'm only 10 minutes up the road, so I'm very lucky. But you might be hours away, not sure how to get the wool here. Give the office a phone.
Yep.
There's a great website, it's actually a very good website where they answer most of your questions. Give them an email or give them a phone and ask, how can we get the wool? I've got wool, I want to get it to you, can you help me? And they'll sort you out. So it is important that we support the Wool Board and keep it in a strong position, because that way they can get the best price for our wool when they're selling it at auction. So right, we're going to have a tour now, going to get this wool off the trailer and see how it comes out the bags.
Lighter.
Oh, it might be 100 kilos each, maybe.
I don't know. That's my guess.
You say 100 kilos? Just guessing the wool weights here of these bags. I'm going to say.
Is that the one that's wet wool, or
I'm
is that
gonna-
the dry fleeces?
I'm going to say they're about 113 kilos each, I think, roughly. Oh, would you look at that? Wow. That's unbelievable. What a guess.
Look, you're off.
Some man.
Hey, my guess was neat.
I said 100.
I said 100.
So there you go, a couple of wool bags packed. Now the thing with my wool here is that some of the days I was throwing the wool in the bag myself when I was shearing, and some days we had people filling the bag. So like Rosie did one of these bags, I think. So there's some that are pretty heavy that I could barely lift on the trailer, and there's some that are a lot lighter that I've just done myself and packed up, or it's been a small lot of sheep and I've just filled the bag and then dropped it off. So there's an example. The last ones were 226 for the 2 bags. These ones are 118 for the 2 bags. There is a kind of half bag on the bottom there. So there is a big variety in how much wool's actually in these bags. So Thomas has just weighed all the wool bags I brought in there. It's just what we could fit in the trailer. There's a few more at home to bring in. So this is mostly cross shows. There'll be some ewe hogs in here as well, although I don't have the bags properly marked to say which is which. But what was the final weight there?
Your final weight, your gross weight was 1,128, and we take away the 12 bags that you've brought in, because they're about a kilo each, and it leaves 1,116 kilos.
Bro. How good. And that'll pay the farm rent for the year, hopefully, all going well. Is that right?
Yep.
So Billy has us signed in here. We're going to go and get a tour around and see how things work with the wool. Obviously I get the foreman's high vis. Archie just got his what's his kind of thing going to be? Just staff? Staff. I'll get the foreman one. Just days your tail, don't touch anything.
Aye.
Keep your hands in your pockets.
Right.
Warned you.
So as you can see, that's the wool bag getting emptied on the table there. So Davey here, Davey's been a grader. How many years, Davey?
I've been here 48 years.
48 years.
48 years.
Yeah,
48 years.
I think he's the longest serving in the company. So he's on a blackface clip here.
Yeah.
So as you can see, as we were talking about earlier on, it's reasonably well presented. It's well rolled. You can easily grab a fleece here.
Yep.
And he has a look at it, make a decision on it. So it'll take, give or take, it'll take 4 or 5 seconds to make a decision on a fleece. Then it's away into one of these skeps. So these skeps will all be different grades in each one. A lot of the time it'll keep the same ones in the same position for these types of wool.
Yep. So it's like muscle memory.
That's it, exactly. Yeah, he's been doing it that long, it's just automatic. Number 2 type in there, his cot's in there, his light grey in there. It's the same.
And just to explain some of those, you're saying cots, that's like a cotty fleece we'd say, like one that comes off like a rug. Yeah. Perfect example right there.
So you've got, it's a solid fleece, can't rip it.
Yeah.
If it's light grey, Black fleece is always going to have grey on it.
Yeah.
If it's going in a light grey grade, you want a wee bit more than that.
Yeah.
So that's just the 7.
A few of them, I take it.
Yeah.
Your cotty fleeces.
That is one of the biggest grades here.
Aye, cotty fleeces.
2 biggest greys at Irvine will be black face cots and mule cots. That's the 2 biggest grades.
Is that right?
Are they poor value?
It's lesser value because there's more work involved at the next stage, the scouring stage.
Right. So because there's more manuals involved in it, essentially, is that right?
Yeah.
That's why there's reduced cost.
That's it. So
But
basically these are carpet wools. These are carpet types. These will all go for carpets. That will go through a slightly different process to these. That's got to get all ripped up. Because that can go into a machine that will rip it up straight away. It makes it more difficult to use.
I take it just now you don't really know the price of blackie wool.
We don't know the price because we've still got, give or take, 4 million kilos of last season's wool still to sell.
Aye.
Slowly, the grades we're selling out of, we are replacing them with this year's wool.
Yeah.
So we're starting to sell this year's wool as well as last year's wool.
To make it simple for anyone watching, is the value down?
Because of COVID, it is down.
Yeah.
It is down.
And what is the reasons for that? Because the export market are just businesses shutting down. And
Basically, the world shut down.
yeah.
Between January, February, March, April, May, the world had shut down.
Yeah.
As much as we had continued to run the auctions pretty much every 2 to 3 weeks, we're now at every 2 weeks we're running an auction. But we managed to get it online, so we never stopped selling wool. As much as we were selling less quantity,
Yeah.
we were still selling wool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Keeping it moving.
Yeah, still moving. Good.
Hopefully this is just us at the bottom of the cycle again.
I'd like to think we're on the way up.
Aye.
We're at the bottom
Yes.
because of various reasons.
That right with the the
That
rope
is-
control.
that is
And-
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
And try to build it back up
Yeah.
to get it a valuable product again.
Definitely. That's what we need.
Aye. And as we said before, that people are trying to get into making it into insulation and
There's all these different things. If you think of what can you use for wool? There's so many different uses out there for wool.
yeah.
It's a fantastic product at the end of the day. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. This is my first bag of wool, been lifted up here, about to be opened. Hopefully it's not a total mess. But I did warn the boys already that some of the bags will be rolled fleeces and some of them will just be tossed in fleeces, depending on who I was working with that day. And I've no idea what this one will be. It's all mule wool. Some of it will be hogs. I take it with the hog wool, you want the hog wool different from the ewes, generally. When you're grading it, like it'll be a different pile.
Ideally, a lot of farmers don't separate it.
No, right, well, mine's is separate. That's the only good thing then. Mine's is separate. It might just be tossed in, but it'll be separate.
A lot of farmers don't separate. A lot of farmers will separate to white face, black face. That's it.
That's it.
Cross cots, that's just something you can't tear.
Yeah, so that's like a cotty.
That's it. You can't tear that.
Now the black ones, should they be kept out the bag really?
Ideally, yes.
Right. But if you've only got a few black fleeces, you can just put them in a bag and then put them in the wool bag with your other fleeces. It just keeps them separate and it saves you just having a silly wee bag left of wool. That's a good idea. And I suppose that's true with any different breed.
Yep.
Yeah, if you just had 2 or 3 blackies.
Yeah. A lot of the Islanders do the Shetlands.
Shetlands, if they've just got a handful of the black Shetlands.
You get coloured Shetlands.
And coloured Shetlands, aye, yeah.
Separate feed bags, all into the main bag. You'll be pay one haulage.
Good idea. And especially when you're on an island, the haulage is a big factor.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
On
good.
average, £300 for a ferry one way.
Is that right to get the wool?
Yes, that's it.
So we've got plenty of cots in here, hard working ewes. And this is a kind of more like Blueface Leicester type wool. I would say, is that kind of better fleece or?
That is a blue face, yeah. Yep. Yeah. There's only one grade for blue face.
It's just one grade.
One grade for blue face, but there is a blue face type now as well.
Right.
It's where you'll get the blue face coming through in other breeds. That's 554 and it's just a 555. It gets a good price as well.
So a fleece like that would get a good price.
Yeah, as long as there isn't any grey.
Right.
You want to keep the grey out it.
I mean, I just find it absolutely fascinating that every fleece has been handled like That's pretty incredible. Like. There's a lot of sheep been shown.
Yeah. It's just a cross shoot.
Oh mate, fascinating thing. That is. Just one grade of blue-faced Leicester. Well,
Is it?
That's all there is, yeah.
Not even with staple then?
Blue-faced or blue-faced type. Something like blue-faced, just a treble 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yep.
so that's what a standard crochet there. Hey, it's drawing it.
Who rolled these fleeces?
They're no roll, mate.
This is ridiculous.
Say something.
This is ridiculous.
You're probably there shearing too.
Did you leave any of the sheep white? Look at this. Look.
Does that affect? That's a good question though. Does the blue affect the price?
No.
No?
Excessive marker, well.
Right, especially if it's been
Excessive, about 3/4 of the fleece was covered, we've put it in as tinted.
tinted, right.
Needs an extra wash.
Aye. But that'll wash out no bother.
That's nothing.
Aye, is that right? Aye.
That's every fleece gets that.
Yeah, well they've got tupping marks and flop marks and stuff, yeah. What do you think? Well, that's what I say. Is that again? What do you think of that? I'm not going to ask you every single fleece, but
No.
I mean that's like a cross shoe that's got a fairly blue fleece. Would you say?
Yeah, well, that's the one I was speaking about, 555.
Right.
It's not blue face, but it's blue face type.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
So that is it. Goes through it as a blue face number 2 basically.
Right.
So I get good money for that as well.
There we go. It's one of those things with cross shoes, you do find quite a variety. With mule ewes you find quite a variety in the fleece types. You see, well you're just throwing it out. There's a structure here actually. Right, you're just he's so excited.
I'm getting in it.
He's like wanting to make his mind up before he passes it over. Look, what's that one there? You don't know the type.
No, you don't care what you're doing here.
Try to do it. That's quite a nice one again, but not quite as blue.
Just a cross shoe.
Just a standard cross shoe fleece.
No cotty parts, yeah.
The most of them go
Number 1.
like a main line.
Yeah, number 1 grade.
Just cross shoes.
Aye.
Normal cross shoe fleece in here.
Yeah.
Aye.
Cotty ones are in here. Blue ones are in that one. And blue number 2s are in that one.
Blue ones.
I'm saying blue face Leicester fleeces, sorry, like.
Cut all that out.
I'm
Not correcting you.
Aye, then I'll just pretend I said it right.
No, you'll put that into because I think it's funny.
Aye, because it's funny. Like, I think it is absolutely amazing that every fleece has been handled here. Like, it's wild.
That's a half breed.
That's a half bred.
Oh, you do have half
I do have half breds. That's impressive. Like, I do actually have. I told them they're all mule fleeces, but I do have maybe 10 or 15 half breds.
Half breed.
And well, so just experience.
It's been rubbing. Just because it's a number 2.
So what do you mean by it's been rubbing?
It's been rubbing. It's staples all week.
just from the heat.
So, and that's for the sheep rubbing?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's fascinating.
So it's just because that's just a number 2.
So the fibre is weak
Fibre
because
is
she's been rubbing?
Yeah.
Bra. Yeah, fleece. What's that?
That's blue.
I think it is a blue actually.
I don't know, it's maybe not good enough. It's just half a
bit. No, it's not. Maybe a wee bit. Aye, but it's just a blue, isn't it? They've not got much wool. That's the thing with blue wool, it's worth a bit more, but you don't actually get that much off them.
Yeah, they've got
It's worth a lot more.
Everybody would have these if they didn't have a habit of trapping dead.
He's a man after a rain heart. We say that all the time.
They've got a habit. They're no hardy.
No.
Blue face. But
It's too sad.
if you feel that's no as rough. It's been a texel. It is a texel, right? But see the end of it, it's just went all wild. We've got to fit that into our system, so that now goes in as a chariot cross because of.
The type of wool
Because
that match a cheviot cross.
See how it's went wild at the ends.
Right. So that'll be a texel cross.
That will go in as a chariot cross.
But it goes to a cheviot cross because of the way the wools went.
Yeah.
Aye,
And why is the wool went like that?
It's just been on its back too long. It's just been on its back too long.
Just right.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
See it? But that's a number 1 chariot cross.
Do you ever get any merino fleeces?
We haven't had merino for years.
Aye.
There's the odd time somebody will breed them and throw them in, but
They just, Scotland's too wet.
Yeah.
So that's just one bag done. There's like 12 bags to get through, and that's just from the trailer load I brought in. There is obviously wool absolutely everywhere. How many of you keep your wool too long? Meal cut, he says.
I think it's a hairdick.